Na tuombe. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu, twakusihi tutazame kwa neema nyingi na baraka sisi watumishi wako ambao umeridhika kutuita kwa nyadhifa za uongozi katika jamhuri hii yetu. Twakuomba utujalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote yatakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amina. Clerk, do we have quorum?
Mr. Speaker, you have no quorum.
Sergeant at Arms, ring the quorum bell for 10 minutes. ring the call and bell for a further 10 minutes. Sanjita Tams. Clerk, if we have quorum now, call out the first order.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader, you have a couple of papers to read this morning. Yes, my Deputy Majority Whip, proceed.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the Senate today, the 18th February 2026, report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the year ended 30 June 2024 of Kakamega County Revenue Agency Fund for 24 months period. Reports of the Auditor General on financial statements for the year ended 30 June 2025 of Ugunja Municipal Board, County Government of Siaya, Madiani Sub-County Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Siaya, Uyawi Sub-County Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Siaya, Amatsi Water Services Company Limited, Rambwa Sub-County Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Siaya, Ambira Sub-County Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Siaya, Ukwala Sub-County Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Siaya, Narok County Bursary Management Fund, Narok Municipality, County Government of Narok, Narok County Assembly, Car Loan and Mortgage Grants, Loans, Grants and Mortgage Scheme Fund, Municipality of Naivasha, County Government of Nakuru, Naivasha Water and Sewerage Sanitation Company Limited, Mutiambua Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Makueni, Kalawa Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Makueni, Kiambeke Sub-County Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Makueni, Mukuyani Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Makueni, Sultan Hamud Sub-County Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Makueni, Makindu Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Makueni, Emali Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Makueni, Kilungu Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Makueni, Kibwesi Sub-County Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Makueni. Reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements at Matiliku Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Makueni. Water Sewerage Company Limited, Zombe Sub-County Hospital, County Government of Kitui for the year ended 30 June 2025. Nu Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Kitui, Kitui Empowerment Fund, Kayangi Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Kitui, Mwingi Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Kitui, Katulani Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Kitui. Reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements on Matitu Sub-County Level 4 Sub-County Hospital, County Government of Kitui. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statements on Kitui County Textile Center. Reports of the Auditor General on financial statements of Ikianga Sub-County Hospital, County Government of Kitui, Ibirikani Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Kajiado, Olgejedo Water and Sewerage Limited Company, Chuka County Referral Hospital, County Government of Tharaka Nithi, Mariamati Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Tharaka Nithi, Meru County Alcoholic Drinks Control Board, Nakuru County Cooperative Development Revolving Fund, Narok County Alcoholic Drinks Regulations and Control Fund, Mpeketoni Sub-County Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Lamu, Witu Sub-County Hospital, County Government of Lamu, Mokote Sub-County Hospital, Level 4, Sub-County Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Lamu, Lamu County Referral Hospital, County Government of Lamu, Rabai Sub-County Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Kilifi, Watamu Municipality for the 17 months period, County Government of Kilifi, Marafa Sub-County Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Kilifi, Kenya Devolution Support Program 2, County Government of Nyamira, Municipality of Nyamira, County Government of Nyamira, Nyamusi County Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Nyamira, Nyamira County Referral Hospital, County Government of Nyamira, Bomet Municipality, Roret Sub-County Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Kericho. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statements on Machakos County Executive Committee and Chief Officers Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme. Report of the Auditor General on financial statements on Ruiru Juja Water and Sewerage Company Limited. Report of the Auditor General on financial statements on Kiambu County Education Bursary Fund. Report of the Auditor General on financial statements of Kiambu County Executive Staff Mortgage Scheme Fund. Kiambu Water and Sewerage Company Limited, got Agulu Sub-County Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Siaya, Sigomere Sub-County Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Siaya, Bondo Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Siaya, Yala Sub-County Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Siaya, Chulaimbo County Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Kisumu, Kombwewa County Hospital, County Government of Kisumu, Ahero County Hospital, County Government of Kisumu, Vihiga County Referral Hospital, County Government of Vihiga, Malindi Water and Sewerage Company Limited, Busia County Agricultural Development Fund Limited, Busia County Alcoholic Drinks Control Fund, Busia County Trade Development Revolving Fund, Sioport County Hospital, County Government of Busia, Bungoma County Disaster and Emergency Fund, Management Fund, Bungoma County Trade Development Loans Fund, Shwale Sub-County Hospital, County Government of Bungoma, Busia County Education Support Scheme. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay.
Thank you. Very well. Next one, Lord.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Next order.
Order number 8, motion, consideration of the report of the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on a petition to the Senate by employees of the former Kenya Cooperative Creameries Limited, KCC, concerning non-payment of outstanding terminal benefits and Maziwa Sacco dues to former employees of Kenya Cooperatives Creameries Limited.
Chairperson, Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare, if he's allowed to, should move the motion. This business has been on the order paper the last couple of days. Order number 8, order number 9, these two motions. So request if there is any committee member on Labor and Social Welfare Committee to move this motion now. Senator Miraj.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following motion: the consideration of the report of the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on a petition to the Senate by employees of the former Kenya Cooperative Creameries Limited, KCC, concerning non-payment of outstanding terminal benefits and Maziwa Sacco dues to former employees of Kenya Cooperative Creameries Limited. That the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on a petition to the Senate by employees of the former Kenya Cooperative Creameries Limited, KCC, concerning non-payment of outstanding terminal benefits and Maziwa Sacco dues to former employees of Kenya Cooperative Creameries Limited, laid on the table of the Senate Thursday, 27th November 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, as we sat down as the Committee of Labor of this Honorable House of the Senate, we were made aware of these employees who were laid down, and the liability of their dues was said to have not been part of the new KCC. So we called the relevant departments, the Ministry of Trade, and the Attorney General, where we agreed that a judgment was put to place that these members were to be paid their dues in a certain number of days. So I call upon Senator Faki to second this motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator Mohamed Faki.
Mheshimiwa Spika, asante kwa kunipa fursa hii, na Senator Miraji kwa hakika amenichukua kighafla kuunga mkono ripoti hii. Lakini Mheshimiwa Spika, nilikuwa mwanachama wa kamati ya leba mpaka mwaka jana nilipohamishwa kupelekwa katika kamati ya ardhi. Mheshimiwa Spika, masuala ya wafanyakazi wa KCC ni mambo ya kusikitisha, kwa sababu hawa ni wafanyakazi ambao walifanya kazi kwa muda wa miaka mingi na shirika la KCC. Baadaye shirika lilifilisika, na baada ya kufilisika serikali ikaanzisha shirika jipya la KCC ambalo mpaka sasa linaendelea kufanya kazi. Mheshimiwa Spika, jambo la kusikitisha pia ni kwamba rasilimali za KCC ndio rasilimali ambazo zilipelekwa katika shirika jipya la KCC, lakini malumbukizi ya mishahara na pesa ambazo walikuwa wamesave pamoja na pia pensheni zao hazikuweza kupelekwa katika shirika lile jipya. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, wale wafanyakazi wa zamani wa KCC waliachwa nje na wengi wako katika hali ya uchochole hivi sasa. Mheshimiwa Spika, ni kuwa hata zile rasilimali zao ambazo walikuwa wameweka kupitia kwa sako yao pia hazikuweza kulipwa, ambazo hizi ni pesa ambazo dhahiri shahiri kwa zilikuwa ni za wale wafanyakazi ambao walikuwa wamefanya kazi na shirika la KCC. Mheshimiwa Spika, swala hili lilipelekwa kwa mkuu wa sheria. Swala hili vile vile pia lilifika mahakamani na mahakama ikasema kwamba wanastahili kulipwa zile pesa ambazo walikuwa wanadai kama mishahara, na vile vile pesa zao za pension na kumbukumbu nyingine ambazo walikuwa wanastahili kulipa. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, hawa wafanyakazi walipokuja mbele ya kamati, serikali walipewa fursa kuja kujitetea, na pia wao hawakutoa mwongozo wote, wakasema tu kwamba hakuna fedha ambazo ziko. Hivi sasa Mheshimiwa Spika, shirika la KCC ni katika mashirika ambayo yako mstari wa mbele kuwa binafsishwa, na serikali pia haijaona umuhimu ya kuwalipa wale wafanyakazi mishahara yao ambao walikuwa wameifanyia kazi kabla ya shirika kufilisika. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi naunga mkono hii ripoti, na serikali katika mapendekezo Mheshimiwa Spika ipewe muda maalumu ya kuweza kuwalipa hawa malumbukizi ya mishahara yao, kwa sababu hakuna faida kwamba sasa shirika la KCC linafanya kazi, serikali imewekeza pesa nyingi, imenunua mitambo ya kisasa ya kuweza kuweka maziwa ili yasiharibike. Vile vile wametoa pesa nyingi za kuweza kulipa wakulima na wafugaji ili maziwa yaweze kupelekwa kwa wingi katika shirika la KCC, lakini kulipa wafanyakazi wao Mheshimiwa Spika imekuwa ni donda sugu kwa serikali. Kwa Mheshimiwa Spika, naunga mkono na serikali iwalipe kwa haraka hawa wafanyakazi wa zamani wa KCC. Mheshimiwa Spika, kiwanda kimoja cha KCC kiko Mombasa County katika eneo la Miritini karibu na station ya SGR, na ni masikitiko kwamba wale wafanyakazi wa zamani wengi tunawaona kule wanaishi katika hali ya uchochole, wakati serikali inaendelea kuweka pesa katika shirika hili la KCC, lakini hawako tayari kuwalipa wafanyakazi wao. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii. Naunga mkono.
Naam, sawa. So, honorable senators, I propose the question that the Senate endorse the report of the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on a petition to the Senate by employees of the former Kenya Cooperative Creameries Limited, KCC, concerning non-payment of outstanding terminal benefits and Maziwa Sacco dues to former employees of Kenya Cooperative Creameries Limited, laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, 27th November 2025. Several requests. I open for the debate of this motion. Senator Modigi Alexander Munyi.
Asante Bwana Spika kwa kunipa nafasi niweze kusangia mambo ya hii mjadala kuhusu watu wa KCC. Bwana Spika, nashukuru sana kwa kamati ya LEPA ambaye mimi ni mmoja wa hiyo kamati kwa ile kazi inaendelea kufanya. Bwana Spika, hawa wazee na kina mama ni wazee wa miaka mingi, na wakati wameteseka kwa miaka mingi waliona ni vizuri kuja kuangalia ili watafaidika katika kamati ya Senate. Bwana Spika, wakati walikuja ni wazee wengine wameseeka hata macho waoni vizuri, na wazee pia watu wengi waliaga katika dunia, watoto wao hawana chochote. Na tunajua Bwana Spika, wakati mtu amefutwa kazi akiwa anapata mshahara, familia yake inakaa vizuri. Bwana Spika, hii pesa haikuwa pesa nyingi, lakini Bwana Spika, wakati KCC iliuzwa ikapatiwa niyo KCC, hii pesa ya wazee hawakuweza kulipwa, na ni kitu ya huzuni sana kwa sababu wametembea, wamekimbia, wameenda mahakamani kona zote, lakini hawakuweza kupata pesa. Bwana Spika, Bwana Spika, sisi tukiwa kamati ya LEPA tuliona ni vizuri tukae chini na wizara zote ya Attorney General, LEPA, wizara ya fedha, ya cooperative, zote tukakaa chini tukasikia maoni. Bwana Spika, tukaangalia tukaona kuna watu wengi, sio KCC peke yake, wameteseka. Kama wase wameteseka, familia zao zimeisha, wengine wametoka katika ulimwenguni, tukasema tutaweza kutetea kuona vile hao wase Bwana Spika na kina mama watapata pesa zao, na tukaona ni vizuri tukasikia na tumepitisha waweze kulipwa pesa zao. Kwa sababu tulikuwa nasema hata kama hakukuwa na pesa, Bwana Spika, mtu akiwa na ndeni, hata kama ni nyumbani ama ni kwa kampuni, unaweza kukata shamba, ama kama uko na vitu siweze kuuzwa. Lakini tukaona hiyo hatutawasaidia, lakini vizuri wakati ya mwisho tumepitisha ukaa na treasury na wizara zote, tukaona waweze kutafuta kitu inaitwa dialogue, au waweze kupata pesa zao, na pia iwe funzo kwa wizara zingine zile zimekula pesa za watu wafanyikazi, ndio iwe funzo kwa zile wizara. Kwa hivyo Bwana Spika, sisi tumepitisha au watu wakae chini na serikali na treasury, na pia na Attorney General, au wazee na kina mama waweze kulipwa pesa zao. Na Bwana Spika, si pesa nyingi. Tumeona serikali ikipeana pesa hata ikisaidia. Kwa hivyo tunaomba vile hii kamati imepitisha, wizara ya fedha iweze kusaidia watu ndio waweze kupata pesa yao kabla hawajatoka katika duniani hii. Na pia Bwana Spika, wale wengine walitoka katika ulimwenguni huu na duniani hii, familia zao siweze kupata haki, kwa sababu wengine wamevirishika, wengine wamepata shinda. Kwa hiyo Bwana Spika, nikiwa senator wa Embu County, mambo ya KCC iko katika kaunti kadhaa na iko na watu wengi. Kwa hiyo kwa sababu wanajulikana, Bwana Spika, naunga mkono waweze kulipwa pesa zao. Kwa hivyo mimi nikiwa senator wa Embu County naunga mkono watu waweze kulipwa pesa zao, na pia itakuwa ni funzo kwa watu wengine, kwa cooperative, kwa sako, kwa makampuni. Muwe mkiangalia mahesabu vizuri, ndio msiweze kuenda na pesa ya wafanyikazi. Kwa hiyo Bwana Speaker, naunga mkono nikiwa Senator wa Embu County, Senator Alexander Munyi Mundigi Daktari. Asante Bwana Speaker.
Senator Mwanzo Daniel.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support this motion and say that the benefit of working as a cooperative secretary in the Republic of Kenya in the Ministry of Cooperatives. And I want to say that KCC and the new KCC and even the SACCO, Maziwa SACCO, all of them fall under the Ministry of Cooperative, which has a very small budget every year. And I want to say that this matter is a very clear matter. Even when the old KCC was sold, the new KCC did not take the liabilities of the old KCC, but their liabilities were obvious and were stated before the sale. And therefore, just like many other institutions in the Republic, there is clear law on this. And although the matter had been to the courts, it is clear that finally the courts ruled in the favor of the claimants. And that once that decision has been made, the only other course of action is that there should be budget. The Minister of Cooperative should now propose a budget to pay these people, not only the levy one, but the estates of the ones who are deceased, because that's part of the property of a deceased person. And therefore, it is important either the Ministry of Cooperatives or this House, during the budget proposal, that this particular budget be proposed, and especially from the Committee on Labor, so that it is a clear indication that this is something which should be budgeted. The Attorney General was part of this. The Solicitor General should be executing this, so that the rights of these people can be taken care of. And this is not the only corporation which has been sold. Right now, KPC is on sale, and KPC has liabilities. It has employees. Now, the moment you get a new KPC, the new company, are you going to tell us now the same fate will befall the current employees of KPC and any other claimants, like the people of Thange River, who were poisoned by oil spillage in 2015? Are we going to follow the same model of refusing to compensate, even when the courts have given final judgments on a matter, and it has now taken close to 30 years, and these people have not been compensated? We should bring a stop to this, so that government institutions take responsibility. The moment the courts have ruled against them, and this Parliament has pronounced itself, then let the matter go for budgeting, and the money is paid to the claimants. It's a rightful claim. It is one of the labor rights of these people. It is a job they have done. It is money they have worked for. And they should be compensated, Mr. Speaker, so that we can live in a just nation. We want a nation of equal opportunities, a nation where every citizen is treated with fairness and feels that the country takes care of their needs, and that the law and the authority and the government does not just use its muscle against these poor people and stamp on them and make sure that their dues are not paid. There's no need to do nyota when you have young people, people born of these parents languishing in poverty. There is no need to pay money for all the people when you have people you would have compensated, and then it's a contradiction. You should just compensate these people. You should compensate before you compensate the old people. So let there be a budget and let these monies be paid. Otherwise, there's no need to do all this program when you are sitting on the rights of other people. Let all Kenyans be equal. It is a way of making sure that wealth is done. Mr. Speaker, I am done.
There is a point of order from Senator Mudigi.
Bwana Speaker,
Senator Mudigi amemaliza. Kwa hivyo labda you want a clarification. What do you want? Point of order you can't prosecute now. Maybe a point of clarification or something else.
nataka nimuelezee kidogo tu Bwana Speaker.
Lakini hayuko kwa sakafu.
Bwana Speaker, ukinipatia ruhusa hapo amekaa chini. Nataka nimjibu ni clarification Bwana Speaker.
No, utaratibu uruhusu tena ufungue hilo jambo. Yeah, next is Senator Karungo Dhangwa Paul. Yes, Senator. Yes, just a minute, Senator Karungo Dhangwa.
Mheshimiwa Speaker, nataka kumuuliza Senator Manzo. Je, ni sawa kuwa na nyota bila ya mwezi?
Iza vipi?
Namuuliza, amezungumzia mambo ya nyota. Namuuliza, je, unaweza kuzungumzia nyota bila ya mwezi?
Senator Manzo.
Mr. Speaker, the stars in the creation theory, and I'm sure it is in the Quran and also in the Bible, the stars existed even before the moon and the sun were created. So the stars were already there. All that I'm saying, the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya must be followed. The country must be seen to be fair. The government must compensate these people. And that's why they have come to the Ministry of Labor, to the Committee of Labor. And this committee must order the Ministry of Labor to make a budget and pay these people. Otherwise, there's no need to debate here if these people will never be provided for. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mudigi, what is it? What clarification are you seeking?
Bwana Speaker, umepatia Senator Manzu for clarification. Ningemjibu kidogo tu. Kuna tofauti ya nyota na mambo ya KCC. Mambo ya KCC, Bwana Speaker, ni watu walifanya kazi mbaya kwa kampuni, na kuna tofauti ya KCC na mambo ya nyota. Vile rais wa Kenya ameona asaidie vijana wetu na anasaidia katika county 47. Na hii KCC wale watu walikuwa pale walikuwa wesi. Kwa hivyo wesi linganisha KCC na mambo ya serikali ya Kenya Kwanza, serikali ya muungano, mambo ya nyota. Tafadhali Bwana Speaker.
Wewe ni mwanachama wa kamati ya riba, sio? Kwa ripoti imesema hao wafanyikazi walikuwa wezi, ama umetoa wapi?
Speaker, ni vile ilikuwa njibu Manzo kwa sababu alinganisha KCC na mambo ya nyota. Hapo hakuna mahali inaingiana. Kwa sababu ile ni pesa iliporwa. Bwana Speaker.
Hapo ameelewa vizuri. Okay, Senator Karungo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. As I rise to support the motion and support the report by the Labour Committee, Mr. Speaker, even before I give my contribution, today is Ash Wednesday. I'm a Catholic, and today marks the beginning of Lent. And for the first time in the history of Christianity and Islamic, Mr. Speaker, our Lent period has coincided with Ramadan. So you can imagine, Mr. Speaker, that both Christians and Muslims, they are fasting for the first time, I think, for a long, long time in this month of Ramadan and month of Lent. So this is the time that this country will receive a lot of blessings, because together we are doing one thing at the same time. Mr. Speaker, it is very sad for the workers or ex-employees of KCC to fight for their dues, which are legally embedded in their job description or the laws or Employment Act, Transfer of Businesses Act, Mr. Speaker. And they've been speaking about their dues amounting, Mr. Speaker, to 204 million. That is 109 million as terminal benefits and 92 million Kenya shillings as outstanding SACCO dues. Mr. They were paid by KCC, then they contributed that amount to a SACCO that is called Maziwa SACCO. They never got their dues. So you can imagine they have lost what they had earned, and of course they also are losing the terminal benefits, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is an easy exercise, but you can see it is going round and round. I believe the amount of money that has been used to litigate, to look for solution, is more than what these people are claiming, Mr. Speaker. Because they have gone to court, the labor court, of course, ruled in their favor, and they said they should pay it. New KCC went back to court, and the Court of Appeal overruled the previous ruling by the court of the labor court, Mr. Speaker. But the appeal court said that they should be compensated. They even told the Attorney General, Mr. Speaker, that he should come up with a process or a system or a way of making sure that those who are owed by KCC must be paid, Mr. Speaker. You can see this issue is involving so many ministries, Mr. Speaker. The Ministry of Labor and Social Protection, the Ministry of Cooperatives and SMEs, the National Treasury, the new KCC itself, the Attorney General, and now we are here at the Senate speaking about the same issue, Mr. Speaker. And if you look, if I can be able to open from this system, Mr. Speaker, if you look at the recommendation by the committee, Mr. Speaker, I'm looking for it so that I can read it. You know, we have a new system here, Mr. Speaker, which is giving us this kind of reports as we progress. Mr. Speaker, it's saying that the Ministry of Labor should invoke the processes of having interministerial meetings, Mr. Speaker, so that these people can be paid. It has also said that EACC should investigate the former directors of KCC, and especially for them to explain how they used the loan of about 400 million Kenyan shillings, Mr. Speaker. And this is a reminder to every Kenyan, and especially those who are being nominated by the President at the moment, right, left, and center, Mr. Speaker, that you might think you're on the President's side, but when the time catch up with you, Mr. Speaker, the law will come after you, Mr. Speaker. Because you see, the committee already has said that those directors should be investigated. Some of them are old, some of them died long time ago, Mr. Speaker. But can you imagine having worked as a director at KCC, and 70, 30, 40, or 20 years later, the government is coming after you, Mr. Speaker? So this is a wake-up call that anybody who is working for any Kenyan parastatal, any government parastatal, that a time will come that you'll have to stand and answer questions. It doesn't matter whether the President is your friend or the current government is your friend. One day you will stand and explain what you did when you are serving in a certain position, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want this House, as we support this motion, Mr. Speaker, to think of it this way. Imagine waking up, getting a job, and working for so many years in a government parastatal. Then after you do that, Mr. Speaker, you leave the work, or you retire, or there is restructuring, or the company that you have been working for, the parastatal you have been working for, has been merged or has been dissolved, and then you go home, Mr. Speaker, without anything. Not your benefits, not the money you contributed to a SACCO that was supposed to assist you, Mr. Speaker. Because, Mr. Speaker, it's only in Kenya where workers and employees retire from work, but their pension or their dues refuse to retire, Mr. Speaker. Because this is an issue that has been spoken, has been, discussed by ministries, by courts, by the Senate, and still alive, Mr. Speaker. Those who, the employees, those who are asking for the Senate through the petition to at least try to help them, Mr. Speaker, most of them died, Mr. Speaker. Their children suffered. Maybe they never went to good schools, Mr. Speaker. And here we are. But, Mr. Speaker, as we ask for them to be paid, as we ask for them to get their dues, we should also look into it that, Mr. Speaker, that we don't lose public funds. Because sometimes Some people might say we act for KCC, probably they never worked, or others want to make money from this issue, Mr. Speaker. But I can tell you, owing to the fact that I know how this government works, these dues are legitimate, Mr. Speaker. Because if there is anything for the government to eat, they could have paid them, Mr. Speaker. If the government was making money from these people, they could have paid them. But because the government, or those who are in government, or this regime is unable to milk anything from these dues, that's why they are delaying it, Mr. Speaker. They should pay them today. And I concur with Senator Manzo that the Treasury should come up with a one-time fund, remittance fund, Mr. Speaker, so that they can pay them. And we should not wait, Mr. Speaker. We should not wait. We should be given timelines when they are supposed to pay them, Mr. Speaker. Because it is very sad. And this is a wake-up call to this House, that we should look, as a recommendation by the committee, that we should look into the Transfer of Businesses Act, Mr. Speaker. Because before you transfer businesses, the former employees should be given their dues. Before you transfer anything, Mr. Speaker, the employees should be given their dues. Because you cannot say we are new KCC, that we don't know about the older KCC. Then that will not be justice to those people who worked at the cases, Mr. Speaker. We need to verify the claims to protect the funds. We need to ring-fence funds, one-time settlement fund, Mr. Speaker. And finally, workers should not suffer because of restructuring. We should always make sure that workers benefit. And the parastatals that the president is saying that he's going to sell, like the Kenya Pipeline and others, Mr. Speaker, we should make sure those employees there get their benefits before any restructuring is done, before any merger is done. And I even call upon people at Safaricom, if the government is going to do what it has been promising, selling Safaricom, we will have the same issue here again. So before any restructuring is done, before any sale is done, Mr. Speaker, they must make sure that workers are given priority, they're given their benefits, they're given their money. And I believe also, Mr. Speaker, the next thing you're going to see here is the employees of NHIF, because when the SHA came, there was restructuring, and they're also complaining behind closed doors, Mr. Speaker. So very soon they will come here. So I think it is good for us as a Senate to look into those acts, that is the Employees Act, Employment Act, and the Transfer of Business Act, Mr. Speaker. I support the motion.
Next is Senator Wabua Enoch, Deputy Minority Leader.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to also make my comments in regard to the motion before us. Mr. Speaker, I will begin by wishing our Catholic brothers and sisters and the Catholic faithful happy Ash Wednesday at the beginning of the month of Lent. To the Catholics in Kitui County, led by our Bishop Joseph Mongela, and indeed the Catholics in the country, I wish them happy Ash Wednesday and prosperity in the month of Lent, and at the same time also wish our brothers and sisters, the Muslim community, happy Ramadan. Mr. Speaker, having said that, I want to say a few things about the motion before us. I've had the opportunity as Speaker to look at the report by the committee. And the Speaker, we must all be taken aback that 20 years down the line, we have former employees of an institution known by law and running legally that have been denied access to their own benefits and their own dues, Mr. Speaker. You know, Mr. Speaker, some of these things can only happen in Kenya, honestly, where People put in their labor. People are deducted money from their salaries for their final benefits, including deductions to the SACCO. And somebody just wakes up and says, we don't know who you are and we cannot pay you. Mr. Speaker, it's a contradiction that we are all thinking and working very hard to move this nation to a middle-income economy. I don't want to talk about where we are being told we will go, but Mr. Speaker, how do we get to middle-income level when we cannot even do the basics of respecting people's rights and paying people what is due to them? Mr. Speaker, when you look at those terminal benefits and the Maziwa SACCO dues and the amounts due to the Provident Fund, it is not so much money, Mr. Speaker. It is not money that cannot be paid. As Senator Thangwa said, the terminal benefits is just 109 million Kenya shillings. Maziwa SACCO dues is 92 million. The money owed to the Provident Fund is 2 million Kenya shillings. The Speaker, surely if there was goodwill on the part of government, on the part of the new KCC, these are dues that are payable. The Speaker, I want to imagine what these former employees of KCC are going through. 20 years of waiting for monies that are genuinely and legitimately due to them, and money not coming. These are people who have children, even grandchildren to take to school. They have also bills to clear. They have to put a meal on the table, and they are not asking, Mr. Speaker, for anything that is not legitimately due to them. The Speaker allowed me to say this about the recommendations that I have seen made by the committee. I respect the committee. I respect all members of this House. But Mr. Speaker, I would have wanted to see stronger recommendations by the committee, especially on matters relating to the prayer by the petitioners. Because you see, the committee has been sucked into generalities and made recommendations about the future, what needs to happen in the future to prevent a situation where an occurrence like this one comes back. Mr. Speaker, I've seen that the committee has recommended certain changes or amendments to two specific laws, the Employment Act and the Transfer of Business Act. That is okay, Mr. Speaker. That is good for the future. I have seen the committee is making recommendations on what advisories the AG should give to government and government institutions when confronted by similar situations in future. That is okay, Mr. Speaker. But Mr. Speaker, you see, if you change this law in 6 months, in 2 years, and we know how much time it takes to push legislation in Kenyan Parliament, how will that help the prayer of the petitioners, Mr. Speaker? The ruling by the Court of Appeal, it's a very interesting ruling, and I am very happy that my leader is in the House. Justice retired Stewart Mazayo. Maybe he will explain to this country how justice is dispensed in our courts. Mr. Speaker, here is a ruling that, first of all, nullifies the decision of the lower court and says that these employees should not be paid their terminal benefits and their SACCO dues. But the same ruling, the Speaker, the judges are saying, we are urging the AG to issue an advisory to the government to pay these employees because the government had committed to pay and these people have suffered for a long time. The Speaker, if the judges made a determination that these people have suffered for a long time and that they should be paid, why not just issue a ruling and say, uphold the decision of the lower court and get these people to be paid their money, Mr. Speaker? There's nobody who is saying that these people never worked for KCC. There's nobody who is saying that these people did not make a contribution to the SACCO. I mean, the reasons for not paying is because the new KCC says we did not get this company, we did not inherit these employees from KCC. We had an agreement with the Kenya Commercial Bank, which was the receiver of KCC. Mr. Speaker, surely, where will these people get justice? Should they now go to the receiver and ask for their money? Mr. Speaker, I want to challenge the Labour Court, the Labour Committee, to seriously consider those recommendations, because this is a live matter. There are human beings here who are suffering. There are staff recommendations that this committee should have made, and even when you're making these recommendations about what needs to happen, I see you have unleashed ESCC on KCC. But ESCC has not been unleashed to go and look into the prayers of the petitioners. You have asked ESCC to go and look into the corruption that was prevalent at KCC, and you have told them to go and look into the 400 million loan that led to the collapse of the original KCC. The Speaker, that does not help the prayer of the petitioners. What will help the prayers of the petitioners is to get somebody to pay what is due to these former employees of KCC. And Mr. Speaker, it is wrong, as I go to conclude. It is wrong, Mr. Speaker, for a public entity, as I said, known to law and operating legitimately, to be taken over by a new administration, and the new administration says, we don't know you are former employees. Mr. Speaker, if we allow this to happen with the KCC, which morphed into new KCC, what will happen, Mr. Speaker, tomorrow when Kenya Pipeline Corporation Company is taken over by another entity? Somebody will wake up and say, we don't know the former employees of Kenya Pipeline. What will happen, Mr. Speaker, if tomorrow the KICC is taken up by another team of managers or another company? Somebody will wake up and say, I don't know the former employees of KICC. So the Labour Committee, I urge you, Chairman of the Labour Committee and your members, I plead with you, don't create that loophole by failing to make strict recommendations on what needs to happen to the former employees of KCC. Make demands to the relevant institutions to ensure that these people get their dues. Mr. Speaker, you and I, Mr. Speaker, have been engaged on the matter of the compensation of former councillors. And it's very unfortunate, Mr. Speaker, that even our former colleague, the CS Treasury, when he was a member of the National Assembly, he made at least 2 attempts to push for the compensation of former councillors. And when he was elevated to the level of CS Treasury, You and I were very happy, Mr. Speaker. I remember we were having tea at the lounge and we were very happy. We were saying now our councillors will finally be paid. Because the man that we were fighting with to ensure that these former councillors are paid is now the man in charge. The man who was making prayers with the treasury to pay the former councillors is now the man who has the final word say on the payment of the former councillors. The Speaker, to our dismay, that man has completely refused to pay former councillors. And here, Mr. Speaker, there is a resolution of this House that, Mr. Speaker, says they should be given a one-off honorarium. They should be supported for their medical schemes. Mr. Speaker, this country, we must begin to operate like human beings who care about other people. It cannot just be about us. It must also be about other people. Mr. Speaker, with those remarks, I support the motion, but I would ask the Labour Committee to really relook at those recommendations and make sure that these people get justice. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now the chairman of the Labour Committee is in the House. I hope you are following up a debate from the senators and also taking notes. Next is Senator Medu John.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to rise and support this particular report and motion by the Labour Committee. And please allow me, Mr. Speaker, to join my colleagues in wishing the Catholics a happy Ash Wednesday as they start their Lent season. I'm not so sure, but I think Ramadan is also has also started or is starting, so I also wish our brothers a happy Ramadan. Mr. Speaker, sir, I am half-hearted, just like Senator Wambua. I am half-hearted of what to say about the recommendations in this particular petition that had been sought by former KCC employees, Mr. Speaker, because first, this is an extremely sad case and situation. It is, and I want to correct Senator Wambua, who actually said that the wait was a 20-year wait. It's actually not a 20-year wait. This is the 22nd year since KCC was transferred, or the assets of KCC were transferred to the new KCC, Mr. Speaker. And looking at the recommendations that have been made by the Labour Committee, with tremendous respect to the chair, the committee members, and every senator who is in this House, Mr. Speaker, I actually feel that the prayers that have been sought by the petitioners have honestly not been addressed by the recommendations that have been made by the committee. They have made 4 recommendations, Mr. Speaker, and the only one which actually attempts to resolve and answer the prayer is recommendation A, and I'll read, Mr. Speaker. The Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Cooperative and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development fast-tracks the workings of the Interministerial Committee to validate the claims and develop a concrete time-bound settlement plan for the former KCC employees and provide monthly reports to the committee until the matter is resolved. Mr. Speaker, this just looks like the recommendations that were made by the Court of Appeal when they were overturning the decision of the lower court, the Labour Committee, Mr. Speaker, that had actually granted the prayers of the petitioners to, Mr. Speaker, pay the dues that were owed, or rather that are owed to the former employees of the KCC, Mr. Speaker. In the recommendations that were made by the Court of Appeal was that the Attorney General should, and I don't know, Mr. Speaker, the consultations here are quite loud. I know
Majority Whip, you are really intercepting the thinking of the Honorable Senator for Nyandaro. His flow of mind is not commensurate with what he is trying to put on paper.
Yeah, and I know, Mr. Speaker, Senator Legwe is my neighbor and my leader. And I always tell him that if he disrupts me here, if I close the road to Olkalau, Senator Lelegwe cannot get to Samburu. He has only one route to go to Samburu, so he must align. So, Mr. Speaker, as I was actually, yeah, and he doesn't like flying, so he has no route of going to Samburu if I close the road through Olkalau. So, Mr. Speaker, as I was actually saying, the recommendations of the Court of Appeal were that the
Senator Medo, kindly request the 3 senators who are actually between me and you contributing should take their seats. Senator Relengwe, kindly. The clerks will sort your issue. Senator Relengwe. Amumu is now saying also Director Rugo is out of order. Senator Relengwe, please have your seat. Senator Medu.
And I don't know, the Speaker, whether it is correct. Okay, let me say it as a point of information. He actually doesn't like not being referred to minus his title. He's Senator Dr. Lelegwe. Yeah, so he tells me to keep calling him Doctor. Mr. Speaker, the recommendations of the Court of Appeal, and I'm looking for them on this report because they have been made here, were that the Attorney General ought to advise the government to honor its word and pay the former employees who have suffered for a long time. Mr. Speaker, I'm actually very surprised that these 3 judge bench actually observed that these workers have suffered for a long time. But they went ahead and just make a recommendation. This recommendation was not binding. And I understand where Senator Murgo and his committee were actually getting a handicap, because you are overturning this decision, but you are not offering solution. This decision was made in 2018. The decision of the Court of Appeal was actually arrived at in 2018. That is now a total of 8 years to this minute, and nothing has actually happened, because had these people been paid, as was the recommendation, and you know, Mr. Speaker, people go to court to get a determination. And when we get this kind of recommendation, Mr. Speaker, they are ambiguous, and they cannot be effected, Mr. Speaker. And we are staring at an extremely precarious situation, Mr. Speaker, by the mere fact, Mr. Speaker, that since this particular regime came into power, you know, the issue of privatization is actually a live matter. There is even a privatization, either privatization committee or privatization commission. I'm not sure, but I think there is one. Yeah, it's a privatization commission that is supposed to look at the government parastatals that can actually be privatized. And so therefore, we are staring at a situation where workers who have actually served and worked, deductions have been made on their salaries. They have made contributions to their circles, Mr. Speaker. Just assume that, for example, KICC is being privatized, is being given to a new proprietor, Mr. Speaker, and the new proprietor would just take all the other obligations apart from these dues that I have seen, and I was just thinking in my mind. Recommendation number 4, Senator Murgo and your committee. I have seen that the recommendation number 4 is that the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission and the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, within 6 months of tabling of this report, investigates mismanagement and fund misappropriation by former KCC directors, particularly the 400 million loan that caused the company's collapse. Mr. Speaker, that recommendation on the face of it looks very flowery. But I'm wondering how that recommendation can actually be implemented. Mr. Speaker, I don't even know, because 2004 is not the other day. I actually just remembered that I think 2004, I must have been a class 5 boy. So I'm wondering, Mr. Speaker, 22 years later after the committing of this crime is when we are asking EACC to investigate, Mr. Speaker. Are these people actually even alive? Are these directors who are directors of New KCC 2004 actually alive so that we can investigate them, Mr. Speaker? Is this money is this a recommendation actually that can be effected? How come, Mr. Speaker, a crime was committed 22 years ago, and not even the labor court where the employees first went to in 2013, not even the Court of Appeal made this recommendation. This recommendation is being made at the Senate in, I think today is the 18th, on the 19th of February 2026, Mr. Speaker. This is 22 years later, is when we are recommending that directors of old KCC are now investigated by EACC, Mr. Speaker, 22 years later. I'm surprised, Mr. Speaker. I'm actually wondering in my mind whether these directors are actually still alive, so that we can because if they are dead, Mr. Speaker, I don't think they can be actually investigated. However, Mr. Speaker, since we must try and cure this challenge because it's a major challenge, I want to agree with the recommendations that have been made by the committee, especially the recommendation on the amendment of the Transfer of Business Act, Mr. Speaker. This must be something that we must consider, because we are the people who have been tasked with the responsibility of ensuring that we make our laws better. That is our work, Mr. Speaker. Every day we come here, Mr. Speaker, is to make the lives of the people of Kenya better, Mr. Speaker. It must be recommended, and we must move an amendment, Mr. Speaker, that as you move, or as you transfer a business, Mr. Speaker, as you transfer all the other financial obligations that you are transferred to the new business, Mr. Speaker, one key component that must be considered, number one, is the contribution of employees, and number two is their pension. And for those who qualify for, I know that one has actually evaporated. The one that is given for employees that are on contract. I remember it, Mr. Speaker. But contributions that have been made, Mr. Speaker, on your, the ones that have been made, you have been making every month, Mr. Speaker, it cannot be that you have served an institution for 10 years, 15 years. Then it is transferred to a new person. The new person says that I don't know where you're contributing. I can't pay your pension. I can't pay your dues, Mr. Speaker. This is an extremely sad and something that must be looked into. Finally, it is the receivership regulations, because this challenge that we are having of these new KCC workers, Mr. Speaker, is birthed out of the receivership that KCC underwent through KCB, Mr. Speaker, because it is KCB which sold the assets of KCC to new KCC, Mr. Speaker. As they were selling the assets, Mr. Speaker, all the other issues, Mr. Speaker, of the financial obligations that the old KCC actually carried were not transferred to the new KCC, Mr. Speaker. They only transferred the debts of the farmers, the debt owed to the banks, Mr. Speaker, the debt owed to all the other suppliers, Mr. Speaker, but the contributions by employees, Mr. Speaker, is something that were actually, something actually that got lost along the transfer. Maybe finally, and I know I'll run at a very, very, very immediate risk from the people on my right, this money, in my opinion, Mr. Speaker, is not a lot of money. And I know most of my colleagues have actually spoken about it. This money, 109 million, Mr. Speaker, that are terminal dues owed to employees, Mr. Speaker, I think it's not a lot of money. Looking at how our government is spending money, looking at the endowment of how the government dishes and gives money, Mr. Speaker, forget about the money that is in the mainstream budget, Mr. Speaker. If you look at the activities that are happening in State House every day, Mr. Speaker, and the kind of money that is spent there every day, Mr. Speaker, if you look at how the budgets of State House, the Office of the President, how the budgets are growing, Mr. Speaker, 109 million is little money. Is very, very little money. This is money that the President can actually give in a day. If he can give to a church 50 million one day, how much would it cost him to just give this money to people who have served this country so diligently, who have waited for 22 years after serving this nation, Mr. Speaker? We cannot just be supporting mediocrity, and when important and critical expenditures come, Mr. Speaker, we have to take people through now the labor court, Mr. Speaker, next the Court of Appeal, Mr. Speaker, now they are here in the Senate, Mr. Speaker, looking at the recommendations. There is no clear and concrete resolution that we have made that looks like they can get this money next week, next year. The kind of thing that has been recommended here, Mr. Speaker, if you have read it, is that interministerial report will be coming here until we get a concrete resolution for the next 6 months. That's what has been recommended here, Mr. Speaker. So it is another forum of waiting. They'll have to keep waiting a little longer. I don't know how old those people would be, but assuming they were sacked at 40 years, they are now at 62. So in the next 10 years, they will be 70, or they will be almost exiting. I want to stop there, Mr. Speaker. I support the report.
Honorable Senators, you know, I've listened keenly to members contributing to this motion, and it looks like members are not happy with the recommendations. So, you know, this motion is a property of the House, of the Senate. So instead of still lamenting and being so unhelpful to yourself and to these workers, KCC workers, still you can recommend, and the committee will be agreeable to the recommendations, as long as they sit well with also the deliberations. You can still recommend, give further recommendations, because that is why we are here. Not to lament, not to cry, not to weep, but to give solutions to Kenyans. So the chairman is here, he is also recording your recommendations. You can still further go and do more recommendations which are acceptable to the House. So next is Senator Gicheru Endi.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, it is very important that today the Muslim faith is starting their Ramadan. Therefore, it makes it an holy month for a swath of majority of our people in the country, as well as the month of Lent to the Catholic faith. And therefore, you get that most of our people today in the country are in a very religious and spiritual mode for the month. And this is a month that you would expect that good things happen to good people, and good things also happen to bad people, because God is a God of everyone. And I want to wish the Christians who are of Catholic faith the very best of this month, as well as my brothers in the Islamic faith, the very best in this Ramadan, as they say, Ramadan Kareem. Mr. Speaker, in the spirit of that, it is extremely sad, Mr. Speaker, that employees of former KCC, that worked up to 1997 to date have not been paid their dues. Mr. Speaker, between 1997, when KCC became defunct, and then we had this new KCC, Mr. Speaker, you will get that between that 1997 and now, many things have happened in this country. We have gone, in 1997 we had a general election, we had a different president at that time. That president, God rest his soul in his peace, has since died. In 2002, we had another president, President Kibaki, who served this country, and God rest his soul in peace, he has since died. In 2007, we had Kibaki, and then we have had President Uhuru Kenyatta, who has served and left, and now we've got President Ruto. In all those regimes, no regime ever thought about dealing with this issue. Between that time and now, the former KCC worked under a different constitution, which was a colonial constitution that did not care about the dignity of the people in our country. Yet, Mr. Speaker, between now and that time, we have since had a new constitution. And this new constitution is a constitution that was built on dignity of the people, Mr. Speaker. If you look at Article 159 on what we call judicial authority, Mr. Speaker, and I say this because when I read the report, three government officials appeared before this committee. The first one to appear before this committee was the Attorney General. And the Attorney General, when he was asked why these people for the last 29 years have not gotten their terminal dues, have not gotten their benefits, have not gotten their wages at that time, and have not gotten their contribution gotten by sheer sweat in their labor at that time and then contributed to a scheme that they were supposed to contribute to. They have not gotten their dues up to date. What did the Attorney General say? He deferred to a court ruling that brought what we call judicial technicality. What did the CS of Treasury say to this committee? And this is a CS that I'm disappointed because I'm from ODM and we donated him to the Kenya Kwanza government as an expert. What is the response that this report shows us? That CS Mbadi had the audacity to say that they cannot pay this money or even plan for it because there is a legal technicality. Then the CS for cooperative, again, an expert from our side, also appeared before this committee and had the audacity to tell this committee that there is a judicial technicality. What does this new constitution say about judicial authority that we are given just as much as the judiciary is given? If you read Article 159, 2D, it says that justice shall be administered without undue regard to procedural technicalities. Because by the time these petitions were coming to us as a house, they had explored every possible avenue of judicial authority. They had explored a lower court that ruled to their favor, and then the second court of appeal ruled against them. And therefore they reached to this house as the only last source of recourse to them. And then what's happening in this house that I'm seeing, Mr. Speaker? Senators lamenting. Senators lamenting that there's nothing they can do. I do respect the committees of this house. But surely, when people who, their children right now have got their children, people who worked by 1997 in KCC, their children are now maybe those who gave birth on that date when KCC was dissolved. Today are approaching 30 years, meaning they have got children themselves. Meaning that these are people who have accrued a lot of problems even while educating their children by serious loans and other kind of dubious work that they have to do, meager earnings that they have had to earn for the last 30 years to take their kids to school. Surely this house must be the house of recourse to them. And the money in question, Mr. Speaker, is actually 205 million, if you round it off. Because there is 100 plus a few coins on terminal dues, but these people are contributing to a circle. They were contributing to a circle. Mr. Speaker, I've dealt with a number of issues in CIPIC, where people contribute to circles, and people are also deducted their statutory deductions that are never remitted to respective institutions. This brings me to saying that while the petition number 1299 of 2013 was a civil petition, and I agree with what Justice Wasilwa did pronounce himself on this labor court and saying that these people must be paid on that petition that was put together by John Barry. Between 2013 and 2018, when the civil appeal 191 of the Court of Appeal squashed the ruling of Justice Wasilwa, that is a whooping 5 years that the new KCC did not take action on the recommendation of the court by Justice Wasilwa. What is that in law? It's criminal. It's court contempt. So the first thing I was expecting the committee to do is to interrogate what happened in those years. Why didn't KCC, the new KCC, take action on the court decision by Justice Wasilwa? What were they hiding? And those people who were at that time the administrators of this institution must appear before this house and explain to this house why didn't they pay for those 5 years a court ruling that was clear about paying those people who were supposed to be paid? That's the first question. The second question that I was expecting in the recommendation on this issue, Mr. Speaker, if I've contributed to a SACCO, I've put my money, I'm a member of a SACCO today, I'm a member of PACOSO here, I contribute religiously to this SACCO. I know that I might not withdraw all my monies, and I know I'm entitled to a number of things. But if this SACCO should come to me and tell me that they are closing the SACCO, there's no money in that SACCO, there's somebody who was administering my money in that SACCO. If they don't have my money, then they must tell me where that money has gone to. If it has been stolen, I must be told that it has been stolen. So that, again, is a criminal offense, in my view, that must be treated as such. And this House must be able to invite those people on a criminal matter. They took the money of these employees in the Maziwa SACCO because they are contributions. The third issue, Mr. Speaker, is the issue...
Senator Eddy.
Yes.
Do you wish to be informed by Senator of Kitui?
The Senator of Kitui can always inform me because he's my leader in the House. I still respect him as my leader in the House.
Very
the
well.
only thing I'm not so sure whether he was working for KCC, but he should inform us at that time also whether he was around.
I'm not sure whether the Senator from Migori wants to be informed by a former employee of KCC or his leader. I'm informing him as a colleague. Speaker, even if the money that the employees contributed to the SACCO was stolen, that money should have been insured. Yes. So there is no question of any loss of any deductions by any employee. There can never be an escape route for the people that collected this money. No escape route at all, I think you speak.
Mr. Speaker, this is why I'm telling you that I like it when my leaders inform me, because their wisdom surpass some of us who just came to this House recently. You know, he's a ranking member and he's going to be a governor in Kitui. And I think that information is in order, Mr. Speaker, that there should have been all possible ways put to make sure that those contributions are safe. I think that's the point that my senior is sharing here. And I think it is in order, that information is in order, because, Mr. Speaker, if you read Article 41 of the Constitution, under labor relations, it says every person has the right to fair labor practices. Among those, it says that every worker has got the right to fair remuneration, has got a right to reasonable working conditions, and then if you go all the way to 4, it says they have got a right to join any trade organizations, and any employer has the right also to engage them in a collective bargain agreements, as well as to determine its own administration and programs and activities, and to organize and to form and to join any federation. So the employers at that time had all the power to make sure that those contributions could actually be protected through an insurance scheme. But that said, Mr. Speaker, there is even a bigger question of between 1997 to date, if that money has not been given to these people, and we are assuming that if they are not insured, they are still sitting somewhere. Mr. Speaker, it goes without saying that they are accruing interest. Even if it is interest in the best interest of the company or to the employees, these monies must be availed. So, Mr. Speaker, there is an issue here that is very silent, despite the fact that I respect the orders of the court, and the court sometimes does rule according to whichever filing that is given to them. For instance, in the petition number 199 of 2018, the Court of Appeal took this as a civil matter. But, Mr. Speaker, I see a lot of criminality here. There's a lot of criminality in this matter that I wish that the committee should handle as such. make criminal recommendations. I know there is one that you've recommended that perhaps DCI or ESCC should take the matter and investigate further. But where you want to go and investigate this thing further, the people who are affected are still suffering. If for 30 years they have not gotten any recourse, even in court, how do we as a house wash our hands and say let the DCI or ESCC further interrogate this matter? Mr. Speaker, we have got all the instruments of law to be able to bring this issue to conclusion and be able to compel those who are responsible to actually pay these people. Because, Mr. Speaker, if you look at the Employment Act, Section 35, 1C, on termination of contracts, it talks first of all about notices that must be given within 28 days. And when those notices are given to people, that section says that they must get their immediate wages and benefits that are due to them at the time of termination. Where am I going with this, Mr. Speaker? If the claim of the courts as is that there was a new organization that came in called the new KCC that took over the former KCC. What happens in corporate practice is that when an organization of corporate nature takes or merges or acquires another organization, then it goes without saying that the ruling element of transaction is the balance sheet. It's the balance sheet of that company. What is there in the balance sheet? It is liabilities and assets of that company. You can't say that I've bought this company, I'm restructuring it, and I'm only taking the assets of it. I'm going to benefit on those, but the liabilities don't concern me. If this termination happened legally, which it did in 1997, then it goes without saying that if that institution did not have money, the way it was ruled in the Court of Appeal, that it was under receivership, then it was under receivership because in its balance sheet, this appeared as a liability. So if you took over the liabilities and assets of that company and you're existing now, what argument do you have to tell us that you cannot be able to pay these people? You must pay them because it's part of your liabilities in your books. Even as you continue to build your cash flow and build your business now, then they must be paid. So I want to request, Mr. Speaker, that this committee, to further finish on this particular recommendation, those people who are running the institution now must appear before this house. We are not going to throw the baby with the bathwater and say that this thing should go to another institution to do further investigation and make the people, the former employees of KCC, keep on suffering. Let them appear before this house. Let those people who have got issues of criminal nature, who ate the money of those who are in Maziwa Sacco, be handled in this house. And then let us do a proper recommendation to ODPP to rein on some people, Mr. Speaker, who actually took the money of these people. So while I support this report to the Labour Committee team, I want to request the chair that make it concrete to the extent that justice can be served by this house, because it seems that those employees cannot get recourse in courts. They have gone to 2 courts. One agrees with them. One recommends that the ministry should take action, and the ministry is lying on a technicality of law. And by the way, we as a house, in such matters, I want to remind you, Chair, that we as a house in such matters, under Article 125 of the Constitution, we actually also sit as a court. So we can make a judicial decision. However quasi it might look like, it is a judicial decision. So let's bank on Article 159, remove technicalities in the pursuit of justice, because these people came to this house to get justice, and we must be able to serve them just justice. So let's avoid technicalities. Let's invite these people in a committee of the whole, and let's deal with it. Where criminal matter appears to be, we say it as such, and ask the ODPP to take action. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, as I support this, and I hope that we will make this report more concrete and let those people get justice that they deserve for such a long time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Samson Cherargei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. From the onset, as I support the motion that has been brought, so Speaker, allow me with tremendous respect to wish our Muslim and brothers of Muslim faith all the best as they begin the Ramadan as the holy season. So Speaker, coincidentally, this is also Ash Wednesday for the Catholic faithful and the beginning of Lent season. And as a country, we are honored to have a wonderful, cohesive living together as one nation, one people with different religious background, and that interfaith, so Speaker, is what makes Kenya unique and strong. So, Mr. Speaker, I hope as we reflect on this season and many other things, Mr. Speaker, it should be an honor. Mr. Speaker, we are normally told that almost 100% of Kenyans are religious, either Christian, Muslim, or Hindu. But there are many things that still face this country, including corruption and many other things. I think this session, Mr. Speaker, should be a session of reflection that will ensure all of us live according to our dictates of the religion. So Ramadan Kareem to all our brothers and sisters, and also a wonderful Lent season to the Catholic faithful. Mr. Speaker, from the onset, I've read the committee report, and I want to thank the chair of Labour, the distinguished senator from West Pokot, on the issue of this payment to both KCC and the issue of new KCC Limited and the payment of their deductions, Speaker, and terminal dues. So, Speaker, let me start from when this matter was filed between the Labour Court and the Court of Appeal. There was an interlude of 5 years. Mr. Speaker, I would have expected that the new KCC management and even the receivership should and must have been, Mr. Speaker, subjected to contempt proceedings of the court, because they clearly violated the court order that demanded that the employees should and must be paid their terminal dues, including the SACCO dues to Maziwa SACCO that has been provided, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's very unfortunate that the violation of Article 41 of 2010 Constitution on the Labor Rights has been meted to these Kenyans. Mr. Speaker, at some point during the hearing, I had an opportunity of attending some of the hearings by the Labor Committee. And you could see these are old men and women who have served this country with distinction. They were old, they were tired, they were sickly, just looking for their justice, Mr. Speaker. And they say, an injustice somewhere is an injustice everywhere. And this is travesty of justice, Mr. Speaker. More than from 2004 to now, a child who was born, and I remember in 2004, Mr. Speaker, I was informed to at the Kapsabet Boys High School, where it has produced 2 presidents, Mr. Speaker. It has produced President Moi, and of course the distinguished, the 5th president, Dr. William Ruto, and maybe the 7th, because that's our tradition as the school. The ceiling, it's always the top, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, that is for 204, somebody who was born to 204 as clear degree. So it's very unfortunate, Mr. Speaker, that we are discussing this. We should give directions. Mr. Speaker, the recommendations that has been made, they were 400 million that EACC, Mr. Speaker, should investigate the people who are concerned. Mr. Speaker, this 400 million, these people who manage these accounts, they must be investigated, Mr. Speaker. And I want to challenge EACC, Mr. Speaker. It is an independent body under Chapter 15 on independent commissions. But the performance of EACC is below par. You know, Mr. Speaker, it's very unfortunate. I'm surprised. In fact, we should have recommended DCI to investigate these individuals and prosecute them to Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, Mr. Speaker. Because the biggest problems we face in this country is because of EACC inaction. The other day, we are protectors of devolution under Article 96, is to protect. But the biggest threat to devolution today is corruption, Mr. Speaker. But EACC is doing absolutely nothing, whether they are in cahoots with the offenders of the law of corruption. And you remember one of the biggest campaign strategies of President Kibaki in 2002 was zero tolerance on corruption. And in fact, Parliament then, after 2002 general elections, they enacted Anti-Crimes and Economics Act of 2003, Mr. Speaker. But today, the biggest threat to development, to functionality of devolution, and even success of this case is non-inaction of EACC. Mr. Speaker, and coincidentally, EACC has normally been led by religious leaders. So I don't understand. Because this 400 million, Mr. Speaker, as we talk today, we should be told that there are recovery proceedings. In fact, Mr. Speaker, in the fight against corruption such as this, we need, Mr. Speaker, one, to arrest these people. Then the ODPP begins recovery proceedings. The only way to finish corruption in this country is when 400 million were being stolen. You also jail people, do recovery proceedings, and ensure interest is paid to the money that is stolen. If this 400 million was stolen 25 years ago, Mr. Speaker, these people should pay close to 1 billion to Kenyans so that we punish and ensure the corruption is punished and banished in this republic, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and therefore I challenge the EACC to do their job. If they need more resources, Parliament can always allocate and appropriate enough resources to EACC. And that is why, in fact, we need to form, maybe, in fact, in future, Mr. Speaker, the EACC and DCI should work together. Because sometimes white-collar crimes are not easy to fight in this country, Mr. Speaker, because of money laundering. These people, you know, tracing of the money, the issue of money laundering is becoming a problem in the fight against corruption, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, number 3 on the issue of these workers is that the issue of statutory deductions and terminal dues. This is an employment under Labor Relations Act, and the Employment Act is very clear that terminal dues must be paid, Mr. Speaker. I think this is long overdue. The issue of statutory deductions and to Maziwa Sacco. Mr. Speaker, there is a problem with our SACCOs in this country. Because most of the SACCOs are collapsing with the people's money, as you are aware. And that is why we passed the SACCO Societies Act, Mr. Speaker. It is now SACCO Societies Regulatory Authority must be called to order, or what we call SASRA. Because it's their duty to ensure the SACCOs are properly regulated. The fact that Maziwa Sacco, Mr. Speaker, took money that belonged to the people and belonged to many people, Mr. Speaker, is a very unfortunate, and they should have paid, Mr. Speaker, because this was Kenya shillings, Provident Fund was Kenya shillings 204,471,555 shillings and 20 cents, plus interest were Provident Fund that were paid to Maziwa Sacco. We have a problem with SACCOs in this country, Mr. Speaker. We need ZASRA to be on the lookout to ensure SACCOs that do not comply with the regulations that are provided by the law, Mr. Speaker, should and must be provided for. And, Mr. Speaker, it brings me to the point of statutory deductions. Mr. Speaker, many counties, and by the way, this is how people are stealing money. Because we were asking control our budget, and I know that the distinguished senator of Narok knows this. When you request money to control our budget, you don't request in net, you request in gross. So what counties are doing, they do statutory deductions, and they don't remit to the relevant statutory, including KRA, NHIF, SHA now, NSSF, Mr. Speaker, and I'm happy the President has done something about NSSF. For the first time, the pension has grew by more 1,000 plus growth, unlike for the last 60 years, Mr. Speaker. So this issue of statutory deductions, and I want to request the EACC and DCI, or people who deal with Economic Crimes Act, where counties deduct the money, but they don't remit. That's an offense. That's corruption, Mr. Speaker. Because how do you take the employee's money and you don't remit? It means it has been stolen, and that is 204 million shillings plus was stolen, and they should be ensured that they recover that money with the interest. This should to the employees, and therefore Maziwa Sacco and all the directors, because there was what we call culpability, dereliction of duty by the directors of Maziwa Sacco, they must be brought to order. Mr. Speaker, I want to appeal to SASRA to be on the lookout and ensure that the regulatory authority should be in phase, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, curiously in the morning, I was following the distinct senator of Makueni, and he said a very strange statement that I've never heard in my life. He said it is better to pay these employees than to give nyota to young people, to give inua jamii to our old men and women in the villages. That is the worst statement I've ever heard from a leader, Mr. Speaker. With all tremendous respect. Does it mean our old men and women do not have right to get inua jamii? Does it mean the young people, and I'm happy I saw you supporting the president when he came to Garissa, and you spoke passionately on how Nyota can improve the lives of young people in Garissa County. And I want to thank the president, because Nyota program is now accessible to all Kenyans. The president has gone across the country. For the first time, the northern Kenya, which has been ignored since independence, Mr. Speaker, are now getting opportunities similar to all Kenyans, including roads, including Nyota program, where the president was in Wajir, was in Mandera, was in Garissa, your county, Mr. Speaker. We must applaud the president. And I heard somebody saying, why is the president going to give Nyota funds? That's the work of the president. You wanted the president to babysit or to drink chai and mandas in State House. The president we have wants to go, one of the role of a leader is to go and see your people and ensure they get, and that is what the president is doing, Mr. Speaker. And I want to request the senator, although, you know, these formations that we have in the country, like disunited or united opposition, I think they don't have an agenda. I think they don't have a plan. Because we need young people to be busy. The only way, Mr. Speaker, and I've always insisted, there are different categories of young people. The young people who did not go to school, but they are looking for opportunities. The young people who go to school, they want jobs. There are people who want to still go to school. So, Mr. Speaker, this issue, and I know in my culture, Mr. Speaker, I don't know, you are old wazee and women in northern Kenya. Mr. Speaker, you know, he said that inua jamii which benefits old men and women should not be given out. In my culture, if you say that, the old men can curse you. So I want to request Senator of Makueni to still come back, apologize to the old women and the youth. If he doesn't apologize, the old women and youth of Makueni should punish him in 2027 general election. And in fact, it is dangerous because old men can just stem a matter and you are cast, Mr. Speaker. So he needs to be careful. Let us, Mr. Speaker, let us compliment as leaders. So in this payment of terminal benefits, contribution to Provident Fund, Mr. Speaker, the SACCO dues and the Arambe SACCO, we saw, and I know colleagues whether they are aware of the crisis that we saw in Arambe SACCO, this issue of Sasra, they must come out. Mr. Speaker, it is very unfortunate. There is another parastatal by government called Kenya Post and Telecommunication, Posta. The employees have not been paid up to date, Mr. Speaker. There has been delay of salaries to the post. We passed the Privatization Act. Mr. Speaker, the argument of sagas or government has been that there is too much expenses in our parastatals. And I heard my colleagues complaining that the government is privatizing. The reason privatization is being done, Mr. Speaker, is to allow some of these parastatals to function, including payment of the employees. One of the aspects that the Privatization Act has given into place is to ensure the process of privatization is made and per the law. What you see, the transit between KCC and UKCC Limited and the Kenya Commercial Bank must be called the Kenya Commercial Bank, who was a receiver, KCB. I know KCB is one of the established banks in this country, Mr. Speaker. They must tell us what their role. And I'm happy, Mr. Speaker, you had said we should sit and agree on what the role KCB or Kenya Commercial Bank played in this process of the KCC, new KCC Limited, and their process in winding up and ensuring that the receivership was done at that point in time, Mr. Speaker. So this issue of Privatization Act has given into focus. I am aware, Mr. Speaker, that the government is trying to offload Safaricom shares through, and I'm happy the government is doing public participation. Safaricom shares offloading, Mr. Speaker, will assist in fundraising, among other things, infrastructure support. You are aware we are doing road from Wajir through your county to Nairobi. We need enough resources. We can not only depend on World Bank or any other. So the sale of Safaricom shares should be supported, I have seen individuals, Mr. Speaker, who want to correct government, but they don't have an alternative. Mr. Speaker, as we talk, the public debt is approaching way above 11 trillion. In the budget policy statement, Mr. Speaker, the internal public debt is close to 1 trillion Kenyan shillings in terms of the interest of domestic borrowing. We must sit as a country and say the sale of Safaricom shares is within the law. And we need to raise, at least I'm told it's more than close to 250 billion, that will ensure Mau Summit, Rironi Road is dual. Mr. Speaker, people who come from Mount Kenya, and I don't have a problem with, I traveled the other day to Murang'a. Mr. Speaker, they only use 30 minutes to be in Kenol because they are road. For us who come from Western Kenya, and I can see a number of us, we take even 2 days and sleep on the road to reach our homes because of the pathetic traffic gridlock along Mau Summit to Rironi, Mr. Speaker, or Rironi Mau Summit, and therefore the sale of Safaricom shares should, and the government should proceed. I'm happy in the public participation that has been conducted by the National Assembly, Mr. Speaker. Even I want Kenya Pipeline Corporation, the sale of shares through initial public offer. Kenyans should buy, they should own some of these parastatals to ensure these parastatals keep making profit and ensuring that we proceed, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and therefore, as I conclude, I want to applaud and ask also the counties, because SACCOs are devolved, Mr. Speaker, the county should play a role and ensure. Mr. Speaker, even as Ramadan begin, Mr. Speaker, our county government should work very hard. I know Mandera has a problem with generator. We were with you and I had the president, please, the issue of generator should be fixed, especially, leave alone seedlings, we'll come to that. The issue